You're listening to the Wrestling Takeover.
What is your name?
With your host, Jordan Turner, who's always gonna keep it real.
Come on, King.
Inside and outside the ring.
Let me make myself clear.
He's got the fans behind him, King.
It's time to take over, King.
Are you ready?
He's all fired up now, King. The Takeover.
Let's go.
Hello, everybody. How are y'all feeling? How y'all doing? What's the word? What's the vibes, man? What's the vibes? Thank you guys once again for joining me on the Wrestling Takeover podcast. You know, when I talk about something on the podcast, on social media, y'all can follow me on Twitter at JT Takeover. Y'all can follow me on IG at the Wrestling Takeover. You know, when I tweet something out, when I put something out on my show, this is the most creative. Let me repeat that. This is the most creative and honest podcast in the space. Everything that I have been talking about for a while, injury's fake. He's not as hurt as we all think he is. The CM Punk match with Gunther was really great. It was very old school, methodical. Pick apart a body part, type of pace of a match. Gunther was bleeding. They were putting in that work. I said, SummerSlam night 1 needs to really end with the cash in. We need to get Seth Rollins. Where is Seth Rollins at? Match was over. Punk is the new world heavyweight champion. I'm thinking, all right, part 1 of my idea came true. Okay. But I need the other part where Seth Rollins at. We waiting. We start cooking. Seth Rollins comes out. I'm thinking, nigga, if this dude just comes in, holds the briefcase in the air to let CM Punk know, like, I'm coming for your ass, and he turns around and he keeps it moving, and be like, that's lame. That's lame. Nope. He fucks around, put the crutches down. I'm thinking, oh shit, we cooking. Got his ass down there to the ring. Curb stomp. 1, 2, 3. New world heavyweight champion. I mean, I'm not a Ultradamus. I'm none of that. I pitch ideas for the love of it. Love pitching ideas. Love being creative on my platform. I'm going to continue to do it, baby. I'm going to continue to do that because I'm good at it. A lot of people predicted, this to happen. I did as well. So I'm going to flaunt with it. Exactly everything that I laid out actually took place in real time. This was great. Heist of the Century, Part 2, Seth Rollins, World Champ. How y'all feeling about it? I fucking love it. Drop your comments down below on YouTube, Apple Podcast, Spotify. Nigga, let me know how y'all feeling about this. This shit was lit, bro. This shit was lit. Talk to me, gang. Talk to me. Listen. CM Punk and Gunther had a great match. And we're going to start off on the main event. You feel me? I'm going to break everything down piece by piece, match by match. This is the most creative podcast in the space. This is the most honest podcast in the space, bro. You want the creativity? Come here. You want honesty? You want brutal, unadulterated honesty on audio form based. listen to the Wrestling Takeover podcast. Much love and respect to everybody out there, man. Every wrestling fan that listens to my show. Like I said, if you're on YouTube, love you guys. If you're on Apple Podcasts, love you guys. If you guys are on Spotify, love you guys. Peace and blessings to each and every one of y'all, man. But listen, WWE Night 1, we're going to break it down. I got my notes. I got the outcomes of everything that transpired tonight. We're going to break this down. The production of SummerSlam was top notch. It was lit. The camera angles were fire. We got to keep it real, though. So, 2-night SummerSlam format. First time ever. I'm assuming we're going to do it again. Is it me, though? I was feeling this way. Throughout the show. You had matches on night 1 that really should not have been at SummerSlam. I'm going to take it there. We got to talk about it. Got to keep it real. Majority of these matches in SummerSlam should not have been on the show. I'm just one person's opinion. That's it. All right. Most of these matches should not have happened on the show. Sami Zayn and Karrion Kross, that is not a SummerSlam match to me. Alexa Bliss and Charlotte Flair versus Carol Rodriguez and Roxanne Perez. This was a fine match. But is that a SummerSlam match? I don't know. Roman Reigns and Jey Uso versus Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed. We're going to talk about that. That was a hell of a match. Randy Orton and Jelly Roll versus Drew McIntyre and Logan Paul in the co-main event. Is that a SummerSlam match? In terms of celebrity status and the men that were in the match outside of Jelly Roll, yes. And the match wasn't that bad. But is that really a SummerSlam match? I don't think so. And then Punk and Gunther. That is obviously a SummerSlam match. Ladies and gentlemen, WWE really needs to get better at presenting night 1 matches to make it feel like a premier live event. Because WWE has had a tendency over the past couple years of the 2-night event formats that night 2 would be better than night 1. Period. There'll be some instances where night 1's better than night 2, but majority of it would be night 2 better than, night 1. You need to put matches on the premier live events that quantifies as premier live event matches. You can't just be throwing out matches for the sake of throwing out matches for the sake of everybody being on the card. That's my gripe about night 1. Night 2 looks way better than night 1 personally for me. We got what we got. I'm appreciative for what we got. All the men and women busted their ass tonight. Some good stuff. But I got to keep it real with y'all. You know what I mean? I got to keep it real with y'all. So, CM Punk lost the world title. I mean, from a character arc and from a storytelling perspective, quite frankly, CM Punk deserved this. He did the same thing with Drew McIntyre. So karma's a bitch. You did it to Drew McIntyre. It came back to haunt your ass. Especially the homie that you don't fuck with. You don't fuck with Rollins. You and him ain't cool. He's the Money in the Bank winner. That's a problem. And you want to go after the world championship. That's the problem. And you won the world title. Everybody can say, I knew this was going to happen. I could say the same thing, It needed to happen, though. That's the problem. It needed to happen. I'm going to tell you right now, if it went off the air with Punk winning the title and we ride into the sunset, heading into tomorrow night 2, I mean, honestly, night 1 really wasn't that good. I'm going to break everything down bit by bit, match by match. Creative over creative. I'm gonna do it all, but night 1 ultimately was not. I'm doing thumbs up or thumbs down. I'm gonna give it a thumbs up because of what transpired in the main event. I'm gonna give it a thumbs up because of the main event. Roman Reigns and Jey Uso, Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed was a thumbs up. Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss versus Roxanne Perez and Raquel Rodriguez. I'm going to give it a thumbs up because it got good towards the end of the match for me personally. Sami Zayn and Karrion Kross, I didn't care for at all. We had Jade Cargill and Tiffany Stratton. That match went short as fuck. I think that match went under 10 minutes. It was fine for what it was. And then we got Randy Orton and Jelly Roll versus Drew McIntyre and Logan Paul. That was a good match. Very fun. Not bad. And then we got the main event. So if you sprinkle all of that in, the first match was good. The second match was good. The fifth match was good. And the sixth match was good. Logically, you would be like, that's a thumbs up show. And I agree. It was a thumbs up show. But WWE, you need to do better. You got to do better with the build. With, some of these matches that you put on night one, that you put on night two. Not everybody deserves to be on the card, man. I'm sorry, but that's just how I feel. You need to put matches on the card that quantifies for them to be on SummerSlam. Yes, it's the individuals that are in the match. Yes, but the stories, does it make sense for them to be happening on SummerSlam? That's where I stand on that. Let me know how y'all feeling about that in terms of, did some of these matches deserve to be on SummerSlam? Overall feel, did you like night one of SummerSlam? I'm going to give it a thumbs up. Majority of these matches were thumbs up. But Cross and Zayn shouldn't have been on there. Jelly Roll and Randy Orton versus Drew McIntyre, Logan Paul, to me is not a SummerSlam match. But with the star power in this match and then the celebrity of Jelly Roll did a great job. Shout out to Jelly Roll. He did great tonight. He busted his ass. He was selling. He was doing the pro wrestling thing. So salute to Jelly Roll. Night one was solid. Night one was a thumbs up. It was good. Gunther and Punk though. Now there's rumors saying that Gunther is going to take time off. I don't know that. It's none of my business. But that's the rumor. He's going to take time off. Over the years, we get to SummerSlam. It's the halfway point of the WWE season. People take breaks. People take time off. I would not be surprised if the WWE is going to let Gunther take time off. Okay? So I wouldn't be surprised if that happened. I think we're going to get CM Punk and Seth Rollins. I think WWE is going to pull the trigger on it. And I can see it happening at Clash of Paris. At this point, I'm over WWE's going to save it until WrestleMania or this and that. No, they have done matches that should have happened at WrestleMania on other shows. So I believe at Clash in Paris, we are going to get CM Punk and Seth Rollins. And I do think this is going to be a trilogy of matches that is going to culminate. I think they're still doing Bad Blood. And if they're doing Bad Blood, I do see the final encounter between Punk and Rollins happening at Bad Blood inside Hell in a Cell, where I could potentially see CM Punk winning that match. If he does not win that match, this is where my creativity starts flowing. Hear me out on this idea. So we get Punk and Rollins, right? We get it at Clash in Paris. We get it at another event in September. And then we get the final encounter at Bad Blood if they're still doing Bad Blood. And that's going to be inside Hell in a Cell, where CM Punk can potentially win the title. What if, Seth Rollins went 0-3 against Cody Rhodes? How about the roles be reversed? Hear me out for a second. Let me cook. Seth Rollins, CM Punk Part 1, Clash in Paris. Rollins wins. Okay, cool. We get, he sort of cheats to win that first one. We get the second match, Punk Rollins. Rollins cheats again. That's 2 times he cheated. The third time, it's in Hell in a Cell. Motherfucker, you can't really cheat. You can, but, is what it is. We get Punk and Rollins part 3, but it's inside Hell in a Cell this time. Seth Rollins goes 3-0 against CM Punk. Punk is so distraught. He's so pissed. The redemption arc of CM Punk begins. Just hear me out. Seth Rollins goes 3-0 against CM Punk. You do the feud right now. You don't wait. You do it now. Punk, Rollins. Rollins is 3-0 against Punk. Where does CM Punk go from here? He's got to restart. He's got to restart the redemption arc for Punk to go after Rollins and get that title where his arch nemesis, Seth Rollins, screwed over CM Punk. He won the title, then immediately lost it to Rollins. And now you're 0-3 against the nigga. So he screwed you over and you're 0-3 against the nigga. How else are you going to earn an opportunity? Winning the Royal Rumble. CM Punk wins the Royal Rumble, gets his shot at Seth Rollins at WrestleMania for the World Heavyweight title in the main event of night 1. Or if not the main event of night 1, one of the big matches of WrestleMania night 1 or night 2. Let me cook. How are y'all feeling about that? The ultimate arc, ultimate story is Punk and Rollins. Let me know how y'all feeling about that. Because I know people are saying, Braun Breaker, he could potentially, maybe win the Rumble, and we can do a Triple H and Dave Bautista situation with Rollins and Braun Breaker. I think long term, guys, if you're new to the podcast and you're finding the Wrestling Takeover podcast, I appreciate y'all. Number 1. Number 2, you're going to get a lot of creativity. You're going to get a lot of creative ideas pitched on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you're listening to the Wrestling Takeover podcast. Simple. Okay? I break shit down. I break it down like nobody else. From a creative aspect, I break it down like nobody else. Let me know how y'all feeling about that idea. I'm curious. I'm really curious because I think that can potentially start the story there. We get the Punk and Rollins series. Punk does not win at all. He goes to the Royal Rumble. Comes in at number 1 or number 2. Whatever you want to do. Comes in at a low number. Goes all the way to win the Royal Rumble. People on WWE Unreal, which I like, by the way. I love WWE Unreal. I love the behind the scenes stuff. I love that type of shit. Starting 5, quarterback, receiver. Love that shit. Punk, people wanted Punk to win last year. Punk didn't. Punk, you just lost the world title. You just got it, and you just lost. Your redemption to get back at Rollins, at WrestleMania. Ultimately, to end the story and get your redemption and get the world title back. That needs to be the plan. Michael Hayes, Triple H, Paul Heyman, Seth Rollins, CM Punk, Nick Khan. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let me know how you guys are feeling about that entire idea potentially happening. This was a great main event. This was a great way to close night 1. The rest of the card, we're going to break it down. Let's move on. Let's talk about Logan Paul and Drew McIntyre as they defeated Randy Orton and Jelly Roll. Hey, Jelly Roll, listen, man. Listen. You a beast, man. You a beast. You held your own. You did your thing. I love the play on words mannerisms, looking at Randy, like I could take Drew McIntyre. I could take him. Randy Orton kind of having doubt. Like, I don't know, bro. I don't know you can do it. Nah, man, let me pump you up. Let's go. You could take him. I love that. I love Randy Orton pumping him up. He got his ass beat. Drew McIntyre ain't the one to fuck with, man. But like Drew McIntyre should be in the world title too, but I feel like that world title should be built around Rollins and Punk when it's all said and done. I just feel that way. I don't know. We'll see. But, Jelly Roll, he did his thing. He did his thing. That motherfucker, man, he really showed out, man. He really showed out. And he did that spot with Logan Paul. People got to stop disrespecting Logan Paul, bro. Like, oh God, like, y'all got to stop disrespecting Logan Paul. Logan Paul is incredible inside that ring. He's incredible inside that ring. Showing up, showing out, doing his thing. That frog splash, one of his, signature moves, to always get the crowd riled up, to get the crowd popping. And that spot was one of the best spots of the entire night. Or the spot of the entire night for me personally. Shout out to Jelly Roll from taking that spot, man. Logan Paul looked like the Undertaker, bro. That nigga looked like the Undertaker when he landed on that table spot. You could see Logan Paul's eyes go in the back of his head. I don't know if the nigga was deoriented or he was selling his ass off, but that nigga looked like the Undertaker for a second. I was like, oh shit, like, is Logan Paul good? Jelly Roll immediately checked on him. Thank God he was good. He was all right. Yeah, it was cool. It was cool. I liked it. Now, I wonder what's next, though. What's next for Logan Paul? What's next for Randy Orton? What's next for Drew McIntyre? Do we get McIntyre and Orton in a rivalry? I'm not really interested in that, to be honest, but I don't know. Are we going to get Randy Orton versus Logan Paul? Potentially. Who knows? But these three, Paul, Orton, and McIntyre, they're more of a question mark, quite frankly. In regards to, like, what's next? What are they going to do next? So we don't know. But it was a fun match. I enjoyed myself. It wasn't bad. They got in. They told a story. Went a little too long, but that's just me nitpicking at that point. But for the time that they got, it was a pretty good match. We got to get into Tiffany Stratton and Jade Cargill coming up next, man. But before we get into that match, how was everybody doing, man? How was everybody doing? Hopefully you guys are enjoying listening to my thoughts and opinions of SummerSlam. And hopefully you guys can go and subscribe to the Wrestling Takeover podcast on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your audio content. And remember, guys, spread the word of the Wrestling Takeover podcast. Word of mouth does go a long way, man. Turn on all notifications on YouTube, Apple Podcast, Spotify, and just show me love, man. Just show me love, man. I know there's a lot of, wrestling content creators, podcasters out there, entrepreneurs in the game, but listen, nobody keeps it more real. Nobody's more creative than me. All right. You want the real talk? You come here. You want the creativity? You want to hear creative ideas? You come here to the Wrestling Takeover podcast. I got y'all. We family. I love each and every one of y'all, man. I appreciate the blessings that y'all been giving me, that been listening to me. I appreciate it, man, for real. So salute to each and every one of y'all. But we got to talk about Tiffany Stratton and Jade Cargill. Nigga, that match was short as fuck. Yo, that match was short as fuck. I seen a couple cats in the community, man, some of the high-end people in the space talking about, this match was like 9 minutes. Nigga, it felt like 5 minutes. It was pretty short, but I think both women got what they wanted to get in there. Okay. As y'all know, I'm honest with my opinions and my assessments when I talk, pro wrestling. People are getting tired of Tiffany Stratton. People are getting bored of Tiffany Stratton. I'm not. Let me make that abundantly clear. I'm not. I'm a big Tiffany Stratton guy. Tiffy time. I'm a Tiff guy right here. All right. Big fan. She needed to retain here, guys. What are we doing? What are we doing? She needed to retain. But I do think Tiffany Stratton's run is on borrowed time. I'm gonna get to that in a second on why I feel like it's on borrowed time, legitimately. Jade Cargill, the Jamaica inspiring gear girl, killed it. Presentation wise, she looks fantastic. She looks fantastic. Presentation wise, she looks like a legitimately superhero, for real. So shout out to Jade Cargill in that realm, in that perspective. We gotta talk about her in the ring now. This is where this shit can get thick real quick. Jay didn't look that bad tonight. I'd be the first person to tell you that Jay didn't look good with the woo, whatever. Nah. Again, she continues to not really have good in-ring awareness. She needs to really improve on that. It's not that it's sloppy. It's just that it's a little slow with her moves and methodical pacing, and her in-ring awareness is really slow. She really needs to get better on that. But her in-ring work is getting a little bit better. And I love watching people that are new to this get better and better and better every single time. The hate is always going to be there. That microscope is always going to be there, Jade Cargill. You're going to have to just deal with it. Everybody is always watching with eagle eyes on what you do. Sweetheart, you killed it tonight. You killed it tonight. You added a couple of new moves to your repertoire. You look great tonight. You look great tonight. But this was not your time. You did not need to win this match. The match was fine. The match was fine for what it was. People want Tiffany Stratton to lose that title. This is where my creativity is going to come in. Bianca Belair is doomed to come back. Bianca Belair is a SmackDown superstar. She is not a Raw superstar. She is a SmackDown superstar. I think that Tiffany Stratton days as women's champion, I think, are over or on the brink. I believe that at Clash in Paris, we are going to get Tiffany Stratton versus Bianca Belair at Clash in Paris for the women's world title. And if that is the case, I do see her dropping the title. I think Bianca Belair is the only opponent that Tiffany Stratton really has left. And we got to get that match. You beat Jade Cargill. Okay. If I'm Bianca, I'm like, all right, my girl lost, but I'm going to step in. And let's be real, we're going to get a better match from Tiffany Stratton and Bianca Belair. That's just real. Jade Cargill's getting better. I believe she has a film that she is, a lot of people, not a lot, but majority of them are going to be out because they're going to do films and these movies and stuff and TV shows. So I think not Bianca Belair, but Jade Cargill is going to be filming some things in the near future. So her winning wasn't really smart. And also, I just don't think she's ready right now. She was in this spot, highlight spot. They know her limitations, but she's getting better. So respect to Jade Cargill. But Tiffany Stratton, I think your run is on borrowed time, because I do think we're going to have Bianca Belair get that title off of Tiffany Stratton. I think it's about time we have Bianca Belair win a title again. I'm botching and shit. My bad. Win a title again. I just think it's time. Now, WWE loves Tiffany Stratton. We all know we love Tiffy time. Well, majority of us do. But Bianca Belair and Tiffany Stratton, I believe, needs to be the new plan going forward for the women's, title going into Clash in Paris. So we'll see what happens there. Sami Zayn and Karrion Kross. Karrion Kross lost tonight. Triple H is a big advocate and a big fan of Sami Zayn. Love Sami Zayn. He wasn't going to have Sami Zayn lose. Let's be real, okay? I'm going to keep this short and sweet because I'm going to move on to Alexa Bliss and Charlotte Flair in a second. This match did nothing for me personally. Karrion Kross and Sami Zayn. Is Karrion Kross going to leave WWE? I don't know. They did Karrion Kross dirty here. It's clear WWE is not a big fan of Karrion Kross. They're not. So, and that was shown tonight. Karrion Kross after the match was kind of giving goodbyes. Kind of feels with what I saw with some of the clips the fans were, posting online. So I don't know what's going to happen there. Sami Zayn, Seth Rollins is the world champ. So let me throw an idea that Sami Zayn might have an underdog story awaiting him with Seth Rollins. Maybe Sami Zayn wins the Royal Rumble and goes on to WrestleMania 42 and faces Seth Rollins for the world title and becomes the new world champion. I believe if Seth Rollins is going to hold that, well, he needs to hold the title all the way to WrestleMania now. You just wanted it. Why would a guy like Seth Rollins win it now and then not hold it until Mania? What are you doing? So Seth Rollins, I believe, concrete, is going to walk into WrestleMania as the world champ. He's either going to face CM Punk or Sami Zayn at WrestleMania 42. Mark my words. There's nobody else on that brand. There's nobody else. I mean, you got Roman Reigns, so never mind. Let me add Roman Reigns to that. So let me backtrack real quick. Punk, Roman, or Sami, Seth Rollins is facing. So if it was out of those three, Sami Zayn is not facing Seth Rollins. It's either going to be CM Punk or Roman Reigns at WrestleMania 42 for the world title. Rollins Punk or Rollins Reigns for the world title at WrestleMania. Trust me, it's probably what's going to go down. Alexa Bliss and Charlotte Flair, they defeated Roxanne Perez and Raquel Rodriguez to become the new women's world champions. I feel like this match was pretty good. It wasn't bad. Something's going on, guys. Hold on one second. Let me pause it real quick. Something's going on. And I'll be back in a second. Hold on one second. All right, guys. My bad. Something happened. I had to get it figured out. We're all good. We back in the game. Listen. So, Alexa Bliss and Charlotte Flair, they defeated Roxanne Perez and Raquel Rodriguez to become the new women's world tag team champions. Does anybody care? Here's why I say that. I have been saying for years that WWE, they don't have enough teams for the women's tag team championships. They don't have enough teams to quantify them having a women's tag team division. WWE is wanting to try to resuscitate the prestige and the perception of the women's tag team titles. They could do that. They could do whatever they want. It's really hard for me to care, though. It's really hard for me to care. I care about Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss, and I think they're doing a great job, and they need to remain a tag team. I'm going to be brutally honest with you right now. I do not want to see Charlotte Flair in a world title match at WrestleMania 42. I do not want to see Alexa Bliss in a world title match at WrestleMania 42. I'm coming up with two ideas right now off the rip as I'm thinking, as I'm recording. This is why I'm really good at what I do. I come up with ideas as I'm recording. Number one, we can drag this out. We can get a new team coming in before WrestleMania that could drop those tag team titles, and we can have Alexa Bliss and or Charlotte Flair eliminate one another in the Women's Royal Rumble. We can quantify that as a one-on-one match in the mid-card for WrestleMania 42. You need to take this all the way to WrestleMania 42. This needs to end in a one-on-one match, either one-on-one singles match at WrestleMania 42, where one of them eliminate one another in the Women's Royal Rumble, and you built this all the way to WrestleMania 42. That's one idea. Number two, one of them win the mid-card title. One of them win a mid-card title. The other one's distraught, which this one is unlikely, especially with the people who are in the division. It's unlikely. But one of them won the mid-card title. The other one's jealous. They would have lost the tag team titles by then. One of them wins, okay? One of the secondary titles. The other one's jealous. We get that feud. Charlotte Flair, Alexa Bliss, one-on-one for the Women's United States title. And Julia is the champ, so I don't know how that would work. Hopefully, Julia holds it until WrestleMania. And we get Alexa Bliss versus Charlotte Flair, one-on-one for the Women's United States title. That's what you do. This needs to carry all the way to WrestleMania. One-on-one match, Charlotte Flair, Alexa Bliss, one-on-one singles match, a grudge feud. The other idea, Charlotte Flair versus Alexa Bliss, one-on-one for the Women's United States Championship. Hi, Triple H, Michael Hayes. How y'all doing? Let's do it. You need to build this all the way to WrestleMania. But it needs to start with them losing the women's tag team titles when the time is right in the near future. So we'll see. Roxanne Perez, Raquel Rodriguez. I mean, this is going to eventually lead to Liv Morgan coming back. And I can definitely see Roxanne Perez versus Liv Morgan as one of the undercards for WrestleMania 42. Because we kind of know where this is going. We can maybe see Liv Morgan pop up on television and kind of be integrated with this story that's going on with Judgment Day right now. So it's going to be very interesting to see how that's going to transpire moving forward. But Alexa Bliss and Charlotte Flair winning the tag team titles was the right call. Now, will this be an indication of an eventual split between Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss in the near future? Let's see if any of my two ideas happen with Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss, happening at WrestleMania 42. We'll see what happens with that. And the opener, Roman Reigns and Jey Uso, Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker. They went 21 minutes. This match was fun. This match was exciting. Really not much I really have for you guys here. Roman Reigns is going to be taking time off to film Street Fighter, so he's going to be gone for a while. I do want to put this out. Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed. This solidified them two, not just Braun Breaker. This solidified both of them being big stars in the near future for WWE's future. That solidified both of them tonight. That's the power that Roman Reigns has. That's the power that Jey Uso has in the Yeet movement. WWE built up two big future top stars in one match with one performance. Shout out to WWE for that. Maybe that's not what they wanted to do, but that's the engagement that I got personally while watching this match. Roman Reigns is the Michael Jordan to WWE. Roman Reigns almost died tonight. Bronson Reed almost died tonight. What's going on with these suicide dives, man? A lot of people overshoot their suicide dives. Roman overshot like a bitch. That motherfucker almost broke his wrist, bro. But the tribal chief got to put the one up. Got to put the one up with Roman Reigns. You feel me? He showed up and showed out. It was great. Let me get to what I really wanted to talk about before I get up out of here. Hopefully you guys have been enjoying this conversation. Hopefully you guys have been enjoying my views and opinions, my honest opinions about SummerSlam. Someone put this out on social media, and I want to bring this up. This person said on social media, what if we ended up seeing Roman Reigns give the Ulafala to Jey Uso when it's all said and done, when Roman Reigns is eventually going to leave WWE? I'm talking like retirement, leaving WWE. He gives the Ulafala to Jey Uso, a man that was feuding with for years. Has the biggest story with Jey Uso. I sat back and I'm thinking, I'm like, yo, that actually does make sense. That makes sense. Why would he give it to Jacob Fatu? He ain't giving it to Jimmy. He ain't giving it to Solo. Giving that Ulafala to Jey Uso and really solidifying Jey Uso as a big fucking deal. Come on, man. What we doing? We cooking. We cooking. So, homie, whoever you are on social media, it was a good idea. That's not bad. And then I can quantify building up Roman Reigns and The Rock. Because The Rock can be like, I didn't tell you to give the Ulafala to Jey Uso. Who the fuck is Jey Uso? You know, like, he's not a main event guy and shit. Even though his nickname is Main Event Jey Uso, you know. So I think that could be the catalyst for a potential Roman Reigns and Rock match at WrestleMania 42, even though if it was me. Listen, if the Rock Roman Reigns happen, it happens. But my plan right now, for me personally, if I had to pin, which I should have the pin at this point, the creative team, but it is what it is. Salute to Triple H. What's going on, man? I would do Braun Breaker versus Roman Reigns at WrestleMania 42. That's just me. That's just me. I'm one person. I'm curious to know how y'all feeling about it. All right. Roman Reigns, Braun Breaker, WrestleMania 42. Is that going to happen? Is it not? Who knows? But yes, again, SummerSlam was a thumbs up. But listen, every match needs to feel like a SummerSlam match. Roman Reigns and Jey Uso versus Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed. It did feel like a SummerSlam match. Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss versus Roxanne Perez and Raquel Rodriguez did not feel like a SummerSlam match, even though the match was good. Sami Zayn and Karrion Kross did not feel like a SummerSlam match. Tiffany Stratton and Jade Cargill did not feel like a WrestleMania match. Randy Orton and Jelly Roll versus Drew McIntyre and Logan Paul. In terms of the people in the match and the celebrity of Jelly Roll, it did sort of feel like a SummerSlam match. So I'm going to leave it like that. And then Gunther and Punk obviously felt like a SummerSlam match. Thought night one was a thumbs up show. The best match of the night was obviously Gunther and CM Punk. And then I would go with Roman Reigns and Jey Uso versus Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed. And then I would go with Randy Orton and Jelly Roll versus Drew McIntyre and Logan Paul. Those are the three best ones of the night. I thought night one was a thumbs up. Thought it was great. Night two looking way better than night one, though, in terms of the lineup. So I'm curious to know. WWE, listen to me. You did my idea the first night. You literally did it beat by beat. I'm going to end it with this. WWE. Cody Rhodes wins back the title. Cody Rhodes sells his soul to The Rock and becomes the corporate champion that The Rock always wanted Cody Rhodes to do. And B, we end night two with The Rock and Cody Rhodes standing tall to close SummerSlam. No Travis Scott. None of that shit. The Rock and Cody Rhodes. John Cena on the floor, beaten up, battered. And that's how John Cena, goes off of television for a while. You did great here on night one. You need to end the show for night two, similar to what you did tonight on night one. You do that, SummerSlam looking pretty good if you ask me. We'll see what happens. Y'all probably thinking, yeah, that's not happening. Listen, it happened on night one. I said something needed to be done, and it did. Beat by beat. For me, let's see what's going to happen on night two. But peace and blessings to y'all, man. Thank you guys so much for tapping into the Wrestling Takeover podcast. Like I said, follow me on social media, on Twitter at GT Takeover, on Instagram at the Wrestling Takeover, and spread the word of the brand of the Wrestling Takeover podcast on YouTube, Apple Podcast, Spotify, or wherever you get audio content, man. Peace and blessings to y'all. Turn on notifications so you guys don't miss any upcoming episodes when you guys get notified. Comment down below on what y'all thought about SummerSlam. And listen, more content on the way. We got tomorrow, night 2, SummerSlam. Let's see what's going to happen. Night 2, from a card-wise, looking better than night 1. Let's see, we're rolling with it. I appreciate y'all. I'll see y'all tomorrow night.